We're looking at a ground cherry physalis aztec berry, basically golden aztec berry. It's quite a bunch of different names. I've done a lot of videos on this, and there's been debate as to whether it has a poisonous value or it's a Solanaceae family, etc. And one thing I want to point out is that you can still see this sheath as a solid structure. This is more for identification for people that are already studying ground cherries and how to eat them. See my other videos, Mr. Mrhumboldthippy at YouTube. So the being able to see through it, this is from South America, and it has purple mines on the outside, and as they get older they typically will fall to the ground, and as they fall to the ground or get to the stage of falling to the ground, they change their color. See, that is an orange. Now the fact that it's still, you see how that's more of a yellowish green, this is still not good to eat, and that's part of this, is to when are they edible. Typically most people will harvest after has already fallen off of the plant. Okay, so it's a fine line, because in my other videos I questioned the edibility of these, and here's a good example as to why. Because they rot, and in a commercial sense what they do is they dry these out to be just like this, all dried out, and the skin dries around the whole seed pod, and then it's a good juicy fruit. But you have to know about how to dehydrate and dry out fruits, as opposed to a rotten fruit that has just dried out. Yeah, I know that sounds pretty easy to understand, but if you're a wild forager and you're a plant identification specialist, then you're only going to learn that the hard way. And so rotten fruit, for those who don't know, is Michael Jackson's version Jesus juice, alcohol, and alkaloid, and fermented, and can be dangerous, and or could be an alcohol. And either way, a lot of plants could be a dangerous type of toxin at that point. And that's the point I was trying to make on some of the other videos, is that this is a toxic berry and dangerous to eat if not identified properly and eaten in the right content. And so, as you can see, I picked this off of my plant, and if I was to eat this right now I would get sick. That's the point. So first off, wait for them to fall. Second, wait for this to go away. Okay, see, like this right here, it's more yellowish in there. At this point they're starting to get more ready for edibility. It softens up a bit. Like I pointed out in the past, a lot of them ferment out liquids, so this is actually extremely wet right now. That means it's not going to be good. So this one right here, these are also in the tomatillo family. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but the little flowers. But anyway, this is like a little golden tomato is the end story. That's basically what this is. That's why it's a Solanaceae family, and it's called a cherry because of the cherry stem. See how the stem is. So it's like a ground cherry because they wait for it to fall to the ground. So basically at this stage is considered edible. That's still highly matter of opinion, and like I said, a good majority of these can rot and ferment, and you don't want to eat a rotten or fermented berry. And even this one is still not, in my opinion, good to eat, even though it's gone through it to its yellow stage, and that's why it's called the golden aztec berry. So, all of this whole rant has to do with just explaining the different levels of yellow versus green versus orange versus edible. It's a huge difference, and just think that people should be aware of that before you go eating things just because there's a video that says it's good eating. So look at that. See how nice and yellow this is, and it's still solid. There's no wetness on the outside. And in my very first videos I explained how it's faceted. You can't see this right now because I don't have the magnification, but this is you can see each segment of the cell. It looks like a sphere in there. This is a perfectly edible. This is ripe as ripe can be. Juicy. It's juicy. It's fruity. And you see it's still hard. This isn't yellow and then gone soft. That's what I was trying to explain. This is that these three berries right here all look exactly the same. This looks just as yellow as this one. This smaller one, I don't know if you can see, but the seeds are brownish and it's not, and there's no juice in there, and it's already leaked out, you know. And then on this one, it's all juicy. It's all juicy little white seeds, and they taste good. So, you know, it's really important that you pick this at the right time. Then went the rest of that. And at the same time, if you didn't know any better, you'd get sick off of this one. Look at that. You can't tell the difference looking at it. So, keep in mind, wait for them to drop to the ground. Don't eat it if it looks like that. You want to at least get that and taste test it first. I would not recommend, as people do, just gathering bowls of them and making anything without, you know, really being educated on which stage it's in, and physically touching and tasting each berry, or making sure that it's in the right thing. Okay, peace.